We are officially on the road to the Royal Rumble, and after Survivor Series War Games, WWE has already started hinting at what the world title matches are going to be. So with the PLE being about 2 months away, it begs the question, who is going to win? Let's speculate. I'm Brandon, this is Wrestling Talk, and today I'm going to be breaking down my top 5 picks to win the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble. I already did a video breaking down my top 5 picks to win the Women's Royal Rumble. Check that out if you haven't already. All I'll say about that video is even after Survivor Series War Games and all of the surprises that happened at that show, my top 5 ranking still remains the same. Now let's get started. Coming in at number 5, I got CM Punk. What? But Brandon, he's already the World Heavyweight Champion. You can't win the Rumble if you're already a champion. You can't be in the match if you're a champion. I know. But hear me out. Of the 4 world champions currently in WWE, CM Punk is the most likely candidate to lose his championship before Mania. Why? Because on the January 5th episode of Monday Night Raw, it has already been confirmed that CM Punk will defend the world title against Bron Breakker. And this is not just a regular episode of Monday Night Raw. This is the 1-year anniversary episode of Raw debuting on Netflix. So just like that original Netflix debut episode, I think WWE is going to want to pull out all of the stops to make it feel as big as possible. Punk versus Breakker is definitely going to main event the show, and I think it's very likely that Breakker dethrones Punk, meaning that instead of Bron Breakker chasing CM Punk leading into WrestleMania, it's the other way around. And now CM Punk needs to chase Bron Breakker. I think that is a very real possibility if you want a big heel holding the championship leading into WrestleMania, so then the babyface Punk has someone to chase and overcome. However, the reason Punk comes in at number 5 and not any higher is because if Bron Breakker beats CM Punk and CM Punk then enters the Royal Rumble, I think he is far more likely going to lose the Rumble and instead win the Elimination Chamber, because next year's Elimination Chamber is taking place in Chicago. Reason number 2 is it's also just as likely that Punk beats Breakker on that episode of Raw, mainly because according to reports, Seth Rollins will be medically cleared by WrestleMania. I don't think he's going to have an actual match on the card, but I could absolutely see him getting involved in the main event and attacking Bron Breakker for laying him out after Crown Jewel. So basically what I'm saying is, if the match is Punk versus Braun at WrestleMania, whether Braun is walking in as the champion or not, I think he's losing that match. And I think it's going to be because of Seth Rollins. So if WWE wants Braun's first title reign to be a bit longer, they might as well just have Punk go over on January 5th and then have Bron Breakker chase him. Coming in at number 4, Sami Zayn. Ever since it was announced that the 2026 Royal Rumble would be taking place in Saudi Arabia, fans have been speculating that this is finally the time that Sami Zayn wins a Royal Rumble. If the Royal Rumble was happening literally anywhere else in the world, Sami Zayn would probably not even make my list. But because it's in Saudi Arabia, Sami Zayn does have a shot. Although not a great one, because have you seen his booking lately? He's been doing a whole lot of nothing. Ever since moving to SmackDown, he's basically just been feuding with the MFTs, along with that US title reign. Now they could just be hiding Sami Zayn in plain sight too. Before last year's Rumble, everyone was talking about John Cena, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, The Rock. No one was thinking of Jey Uso as even a possibility to win the Rumble. So going into this year's Rumble, there are so many big names that people are talking about. At this point, it feels like no one's even considering Sami Zayn as an option. So WWE could look at that lack of conversation and go, this is the moment to crown Sami Zayn. We're in Saudi Arabia, no one's going to be expecting it because we haven't done anything with him in the past few months. I do think there's a slim possibility of that happening, but when you look at what went down at War Games, I think WWE has already started teasing the world title matches, and I don't think Sami Zayn is going to filter in to either one of them. Coming in at number 3, Brock Lesnar. Now this would just be awful, but unfortunately, it's possible because WWE loves Brock Lesnar. Triple H loves Brock Lesnar. He's on the poster for WrestleMania 42 and he's been in all of the promos for it. And honestly, when you look at that poster and those 4 guys, you can't help but think, are we looking at our 2 world title matches right now? Whether it's Brock versus Punk or Brock versus Cody. Honestly, I could see WWE doing either one, which makes Brock winning the Rumble a legit possibility. If WWE was gonna make any wrestler in this modern era a 3-time Rumble winner, it's gonna be Brock Lesnar. Especially if Bron Breakker beats CM Punk on the January 5th episode of Raw. If that happens, I think Brock Lesnar is now the frontrunner to win the Rumble, because Bron Breakker versus Brock Lesnar is an infinitely more appealing match than Bron Breakker versus CM Punk again. And a few months ago, there were reports going around saying that Bron Breakker versus Brock Lesnar was being discussed for WrestleMania 42. These reports came before Seth Rollins' injury, but I could still see WWE going back to that plan. The only problem is both of them are heels, and you would effectively be shutting CM Punk out of a title match, unless he gets involved in whatever Cody Rhodes is doing at Mania, which according to reports, we already know. So as much as I would hate this, I think it is a very real possibility. Coming in at number 2, Bron Breakker. Now, similar to CM Punk, there's a big asterisk next to Bron Breakker's name here, because it's very possible that he beats CM Punk on the January 5th episode of Raw. And if that happens, he is absolutely holding till Mania, therefore the Rumble win is not going to happen. However, I really think that that January 5th match is very unpredictable, because it's just as likely that CM Punk retains over Bron Breakker. And if that happens, Bron Breakker will be chasing CM Punk leading into Mania. I think he'll enter the Royal Rumble, and I think he has a real shot to win. The only reason why I think it's more likely that he wins the Chamber instead of the Rumble is that if he loses a big title match and then immediately wins the Rumble a week or 2 later, that is exactly what WWE did with Jey Uso this past year, where he lost a world title match to Gunther at Saturday Night's Main Event and then won the Rumble like 2 weeks later. To me, that's just too repetitive, so if Braun loses to Punk, I think the thing to do is have him enter the Rumble, come up short, then enter the Elimination Chamber and destroy everyone. Make it a dominant performance from Bron Breakker. I'm serious, have him eliminate everyone. So in this video, I've been talking a lot about the World Heavyweight Championship, and basically what I've come down to is whether it's Bron Breakker chasing CM Punk or CM Punk chasing Bron Breakker, I think it's much more likely that they win the Elimination Chamber instead of the Rumble. But if that's the case, who the heck is going to win the Royal Rumble? My number 1 pick is Roman Reigns. WWE made it very clear at the end of the Men's War Games match that Roman Reigns is cool with CM Punk, Z-Bros, but for whatever reason, he's not cool with Cody Rhodes. And I say for whatever reason because in that War Games match, literally nothing went down between Roman and Cody. There's no reason for Roman Reigns to like Cody any more or less than he did before War Games. But either way, after that moment, it's clear we are getting Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes Part 3, the end of the trilogy, that to be honest, doesn't need to be a trilogy. This is very clearly WWE's break glass in case of emergency main event, because I believe that before Seth Rollins' injury, the plans for WrestleMania were Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title, and CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE title. Obviously, Seth gets injured, things change, CM Punk is now the World Heavyweight Champion, and for whatever reason, WWE feels that this is the plan they have to go with, Roman versus Cody, round 3. There have been a bunch of reports after War Games that are confirming that this is the plan for Mania, so at this point I think it's all but confirmed that Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble. I think WWE absolutely wants to add him to the list of 2-time Rumble winners. Ideally, I think they would have wanted him to win the Rumble and challenge Seth Rollins for the world title. The only question I have is, who the heck is going to win that match, Roman or Cody? But that's it. Those are my top 5 picks to win the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble. Let me know your top 5 down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.